What up, For Life Gang? It's Amber.
What he do is Philip.
If you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Like, right now. Pause this, go subscribe, and come back. After this video, leave us a comment, let us know what you think, how you feeling, and give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
In today's topic, we're going to discuss the importance of not losing yourself in your marriage.
That's a lot.
Yeah, because it's easy to do.
It is super easy to do. I think maybe more for women than men.
I agree.
Yes. So, when you get married, it's just this big thought of becoming one and just kind of throwing yourself into your marriage, into your family. And that's definitely what happened for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got married. I was pregnant when we got married. So then I became a mom real quick. And everything just happened so fast. And I looked up and I was just a wife and a mom.
Yeah.
That's it. A wife and a mom.
And on top of that, I mean, when we got married, we were really excited. So things started to go really fast. Like, we were excited being newlyweds. We were excited taking on our roles as husband and wife.
Right.
We were excited to do life together.
And we were young.
Right.
So we were literally growing up and having these new life experiences together.
Yeah.
So it literally just became me and Philip. Like, we talk about it all the time. Like, it's us against the world.
Yeah.
And where that's very true, it's really easy to look up and you just don't know who you are anymore.
Yeah, you quickly forget.
Right. And it seemed like for me, after every child, like, I had to go through this rediscovery process.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a mom, and you know, as a new parent, especially having a newborn, like, you have to just focus on them so much. Like, you sacrifice your sleep, you sacrifice your time, all of that. And I just got so used to doing it.
Yeah, and you get so focused on pouring into your kids,
pouring
into your spouse, like you forget to leave some for yourself.
To pour into yourself, because that's super important as well.
Very. Very, very.
So, we were there. I was there twice. And it seemed like... At least twice, right. Because you know I'm ever changing.
Yeah.
But it seems like every time... It takes me even a couple years to even realize, hey, you need to get back to you. You need to do something for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think this past year, 2020, is when I start realizing, hey, it's time for you to start finding something for you.
Yeah.
And now it's more of like the execution stage. So I'm kind of in the execution stage of prioritizing myself some.
Yeah.
And I think when that happens, it's a shift for everybody, because even though it's me who's having to prioritize myself, it's different for you and the kids as well, that I'm putting myself first.
Mm-hmm. It's like, wait a minute, we're not used to this. Like,
right.
What do you mean you about to take a bath during the middle of the day? Like, what are we gonna eat?
Right. Or figure it out, you know? Yeah. And that's so different. But it's like, for me, for like just my sanity, like, you can be completely happy in a marriage with your family and still need to have some things for yourself.
Yeah. So I think communicating that with your spouse is really important.
Right.
Because you don't want to look up one day and you just, you know what, I'm going to take me a self-care day. And your spouse is like, you know, well, where is this coming from?
Right.
They're completely caught off guard because you've been pouring into everybody else so much. And that you just was like, you know what, I'm going to do me. And then everybody else is derailed because this is not the norm for us. Right. So I think communicating that in your marriage and letting your partner know, hey, you know.
Oh, that's one of the things on my list.
Oh.
Let's go deeper into that later. We're going to go deeper into that in a minute. But one thing I do want to say is that for a long time, like, I thought that I felt guilty for wanting to prioritize myself, for wanting to do something for me, even if that meant Philip had to figure out what they were going to eat. Or even if that meant a time where I'm normally just free and available to the kids, I'm not. I felt really guilty for wanting to be more than just a mom and wife. Mm-hmm. And it took me a minute to get to the point to where, no, don't feel bad for that. Like, you're a whole individual. you can have something for yourself. So I just want to like encourage other women or even other men who are kind of going through that. It's okay to want more than just being a wife and a mom. And that doesn't mean that like there's anything wrong with your family, there's anything wrong with your marriage, or it doesn't even mean that you're unhappy. Because for me, the whole time I've been so happy. I think that's why it took me so long to realize, girl, you're happy, but what about you're happy for you? And not just, I'm so happy. Every time like I would explain my happiness, my husband and my kids were attached to it.
Yeah, it was never as an individual, I'm happy with myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's okay to like reclaim your happiness, reclaim your time. And so that's kind of where I am.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't have the same story.
I know.
I mean, because even though I was am really excited about being a husband and my role in this marriage, I didn't ever come to a point to where I lost myself in doing what I wanted to do, hanging out with my friends. Now, things like that changed because I slowly decided to, you know, I wanted to hang out with my wife, you know, more so than my friends, but I didn't lose myself as an individual. Like I wasn't so wrapped up in being a husband and being a father that I forgot to take time for myself. I think that was more so of you, because that's your personality and you. And
women shift more. Women have to shift more in a marriage anyway. It's definitely my personality because I just obsess over everything. So anything that I do, I'm gonna like give it my all and I'm gonna just literally throw myself in it. Anything that I do. But also, women are the ones who have to shift more. We're the ones who change our last name. So now I gotta go do all this stuff and change my entire identity because I've gotten married. When we get pregnant, we both having a baby, but
your body changes.
My body changes.
Your emotions change.
Right. Yeah. There are things I can't do anymore that you can do, and we're both having a baby. So I think that's why it's so easier for women to end up losing themselves in a marriage, and for you, why you did it, because you didn't have to do
anything.
Right. You didn't change as much. I had to literally shift everything about me in order to become a wife, in order to become a mother. And for you, it was like, okay, I gotta make some, minor adjustments. Yeah. But that's about it.
Yeah, I gotta consider my wife.
Right.
But I'm still pretty much doing me.
Right. So I think that's why it's the difference there. Yeah. But so we have 5 ways to, make sure you don't lose yourself, or if you have lost yourself in marriage, how you can kind of like reclaim your time.
Yeah.
I keep laughing because I keep saying reclaim.
I keep laughing at your laugh.
Because it just tickled me a little bit. So it's not like a full-fledged laugh, but just a little tickle.
Sound like Elmo.
Okay, anywho. So the first way, and I guess these may not be in a particular order.
No, not at all.
Well, this first one is, you can't rediscover yourself or make sure you don't lose yourself if you don't know who you are as a person. So you have to be a solid you. Marriage is about 2 whole individuals coming together as one, and not a fraction of an individual coming together with another, trying to piece together and make one whole.
Correct.
Because when you do that, it just doesn't work out. Like, you have to have your own identity.
Yeah.
And me and Philip talk about all the time how we're so different, but it works for us. But that's because we have our own identity. So when we got into our relationship, neither one of us tried to like become so much like the other person to make it work.
Yeah.
Now, we sacrifice some things, and I'll watch sports and do all that stuff because he likes it, but that's not my identity. When I turn on the TV, I'm not going to ESPN like he is.
He watching Grey's Anatomy.
And Lord, is he going to ESPN. But
absolutely.
We have our own identity. So that's really important right there, is to just know who you are as a person. Have your own identity first.
Yeah. The second one is to set some time aside for you, or just simply prioritize yourself.
Right. That is super, super important. And that's where I really struggled prioritizing, not even struggled past tense, struggle period, with prioritizing myself. It's like you get so wrapped up in a routine, even if that routine is just hang out with the kids on the couch, you get so wrapped up in that it's hard to say, you know what, instead of hanging out with the kids on the couch today, I'm going to do something for me. Like, I know for me, it got so bad to the point to where I literally didn't want to hang out with other people. Like, if my friends were like, hey, you want to go here? I just would be like, oh, this is the time where me and the kids normally watch a movie. So, and it's like, it's a movie.
Yeah.
You can skip watching a movie one day.
Yeah.
But that's literally how bad it got for me.
Well, I think it got to a point. I mean, I think you're not even giving it the credit to what it really was. Like, it was really bad to where it was like, these are the things that you have to do, you know, in order to be a mom.
Yeah.
You know, these are things that I must do in order to actually be that mom that I want to be. And I don't think that, you know, I don't think that you had to, but these are just some things that you just was like, no, in order to be a good mom, these are the things that I have to do.
And not even in a dreading have to do way, but that's just kind of where I set the bar.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what we'll say. Yeah, I just kind of set the bar there. And I'm like, no, this is just part of being a mom.
Yeah.
And for a while, I just kind of felt like if people didn't understand that, then, oh well, like, this is part of being a mom. But it's like, no, you can deviate.
Yeah, and not only that, like, you can give some of those responsibilities to me while you go do your thing.
Right. And that's something that I struggle with too. Like, even at one point, if I left the house just to like go grocery shopping or whatever it was that I left the house to do, I would always make sure like that the kids had eaten first, that Philip had eaten and all that. And I think it's great to do that, but it's kind of like, he's capable.
Yeah.
Like, there's been a couple times where Philip has had to tell me like, they my kids too. I can handle them.
Yeah. Like, you sure you're okay? Is this a perfect time for me to go? Like, dude, get out of here.
Right. And he literally is like, go, just do it.
Like, what are you doing?
So yeah. Okay. Communicate your needs with your spouse. Yeah. And that's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely want to communicate your needs and what you know, kind of what you're feeling with your spouse, because you don't want it to get to a point to where you've reached your breaking point and now you're just at wit's end and you're like, man, like, I got to do me at this point.
Right.
And then, you know, like I said earlier, they can completely catch your spouse off guard and they don't know exactly what you're talking about. Right. And they feel like this is coming just out of nowhere. Like, what are you doing?
Right. So now you unhappy or now you got to go find yourself or whatever. And I didn't know that this was a thing.
Yeah, because I've gotten so used to things being the way they are. And I'm not even thinking about you losing yourself or you putting yourself last. This is just the norm for us. Right.
So I think it's kind of twofold with communicating your needs. One of the communications is communicating, hey, I'm feeling a certain type of way. So I think that's important to communicate. But the other is, after we talked about me feeling some type of way, here are some things that I need to change. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're not thrown off on either side of that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you really have to communicate that. But then also, like I was just saying with Philip, he's super supportive in that to where he's like, no, go do this. Or even sometimes he's like, well, you want to go just get your toes done or you want to go do whatever, because he also now knows like I need to help her find some time for herself.
Oh yeah, because not all the time do you think about that. So
most of the time I don't.
Yeah, because every day, if you live every day and you get so used to doing things a certain way, they can become a routine.
Right.
And then you look up and it'll be 2 weeks and you haven't gone out the house to do, you know,
anything for yourself.
Anything for yourself. You hadn't bought yourself anything in a while. You haven't, you know, just taken a walk or just, you know, just to have some me time. Right. Everybody deserves some me time.
Right.
From yourself to your spouse to your kids. Everybody deserves some of that me time.
Agreed completely. Number 4 is keep some friends. I think that that's important because, for one, it helps you like have an identity outside of your marriage. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes your friends can bring stuff up that, you know, you may not see otherwise. Or just having like something to look forward to outside of your husband, outside of your wife, outside of your kids. And like I was saying at first, for a long time, I was just kind of like, if my friends don't understand that I'm a wife and a mom first, then maybe we don't need to be friends. And now looking back, I know that was rather foolish of me to feel that way. But that's just the point that I was at, where Philip, on the other hand, he never really felt that way. Philip has always been connected with his friends and stayed connected with his friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I've had some friends that we've had some disagreements on, as far as like some where we were in our lives.
And that's natural.
It's gonna happen. But it's very important to keep those right set of friends around you, just to support you as an individual and as and to respect your marriage as well.
Right. And you have to just find the balance, because it's super okay for you to hang out with your friends and your spouse not be around. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, 100%.
But you got to find the balance, especially when you add like kids into the mix. Now, if you're married and y'all have kids, of course you may hang out with your friends more than you do any other time, but you just have to find that balance. But I'm just laughing to myself on how I really felt like I just didn't need to hang out with my friends right now. And then the last one is be flexible or embrace changes as they come. And what I mean by that is pretty much what I was just saying with like your time. So prior to having kids or prior to being married, you did have more time to do certain things. So if you're trying to make sure you don't lose yourself in a marriage, or if you're trying to rediscover yourself in a marriage, you may not have the same time that you had at first.
Right.
And that's okay. You just need to be able to embrace those changes as they come, because that's a part of what? Life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are the 5 topics that not topics. I can't talk today.
The 5 ways of
not losing yourself in your marriage.
Yeah.
Or reclaiming your time.
That's so bad.
All right, questions. What was your favorite childhood game to play?
I don't know, probably
cars, outside, whatever.
Hide and go get it.
Baby.
No, sorry, wrong shit.
What? Why would you say that?
I'm gonna just say basketball.
I cannot believe you said that. How old were you? Tell them how old you were playing hide and go get it.
Oh, definitely elementary.
Elementary.
For sure.
So what was the get it in elementary though?
Kissing. Kissing for
Kissing?
sure. Yeah.
It was kissing for me too.
Definitely kissing.
It wasn't in elementary though. I was at least in middle school playing hide and go get it. I wasn't playing hide and go get it in elementary.
No. Well, it's not like 1st or 2nd grade.
Like 5th.
Yeah, maybe 4th, 5th, 6th.
I was in middle school.
Somewhere up in there.
Okay. You mannish.
No, I'm not.
My favorite childhood game to play. You would think I would know the answer to these since I made them, but I don't. I know I do this every time. My favorite childhood game to play.
I like Foursquare too, though. I know it was kind of random, but
I did like Foursquare. Now, if we're talking outdoor games, I was probably a double dutch.
Oh.
That was my thing. And what's funny was I couldn't even double dutch that good. You know, where your legs go like this?
Yeah.
I would jump the regular way most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like throwing in double dutch.
Yeah, see, when I was getting down with the girls, because I was doing jump rope and stuff too. I couldn't double dutch that well, but the single rope.
Oh, you was in there.
Oh, I was acting a fool.
And the best part was when you got that jump in.
Yeah.
That little bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was playing some rope. Oh, yeah. Okay, another childhood. What was your favorite childhood toy?
I don't have too many memories of just like toys, but like game systems.
Yeah.
Definitely my PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Or the Nintendo 64. I say probably the 64.
Okay.
And GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. I don't know that one.
You don't know nothing about that. That 007 GoldenEye. You don't know nothing about that.
I don't think so. I'm sure I probably played it with my brother, but that just don't stand out to me.
That's probably the top 3 best games of all time.
GoldenEye?
GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye. Okay.
James Bond.
Okay. I got
007?
you. I probably played it. I'm sure I did.
Oh, man. Come on.
Anywho, so my favorite childhood toy, well, I was a dolls girl. And what's funny is I wasn't even a girly girl, but I like to paint the dolls' nails with real fingernail polish, and then I like to do their hair. But outside of that, I had this electronic journal, and that was my favorite thing ever. So it had like a lock on it, and the lock was electronic. And I'm saying electronic because, you know, that was so new then that it was a big thing.
Yeah.
And I loved to write back then. So I had my little journal and I used to carry it with me. And it was kind of big and bulky because it was electronic.
Right.
But I love that little journal.
Did it come like with like a backpack you put it in or something?
It was like this big little. It was probably about that thick.
My goodness.
It was pretty thick.
Was it heavy?
No, it wasn't heavy at all. Yeah, and it made noise and stuff. You had to put like a code in to open it up, and so I felt so good because I could write whatever I wanted. And I know if you didn't know that code, you couldn't get in my journal. Not that anybody was trying to get in my journal, but that just made me excited. That was my favorite. Okay, this one kind of simple, but your favorite sport, which I know, but that's
basketball.
Basketball.
Absolutely.
If I had to pick a sport, because really sports is not my thing, I just watch it because you watch it, I'm going to go with football.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I feel like football is more interesting. It got a little more drama in it. You know, they be beefing sometimes.
Basketball too now.
Basketball, I think, moved too fast for me.
It's probably because your brothers played football. That's what it was.
But basketball moves so fast. You down here on the screen. You down here on the screen. I can't keep up. Who is number 11? Who number 12? What team you play for? I can't keep up with it. And I like to know the backstory of people. Y'all moving too fast. I don't know who I'm trying to watch. Football, on the other hand, everybody got on helmets, so I don't have to focus so much on like watching certain people, but then I can find out the backstory on number 10. Okay, he got the ball. He gonna have the ball for a minute. Or in basketball, y'all done passed it 5 times, and I'm still at the bottom of the screen. So, I'm definitely saying football.
Just because you can keep up with football a little bit more.
I can keep up with football better. And I just feel like it got a little more drama in it.
No, man.
They be pushing. They be on the sidelines.
Nah.
He got suspended. He had to pay a fine.
Nah, football is more aggressive, but basketball.
I like aggressive.
Definitely got the drama.
I like aggressive too. Now, when they be arguing in basketball, I'll be like, ooh, what happened? I be trying to read their lips. What'd he say? But
you watching basketball for the wrong reason.
I am. And then when I watch basketball, I'm looking at who got the best haircut. I'm looking at their shoes. Why he got these shoes on? It don't even go with his jersey. I'm looking at why he didn't walk by like that. Do I like him as a person? In basketball, I got a lot to analyze. I may not like you as a person. I don't like how you looked at him.
Oh.
Why you call him a BAN? I didn't like that. Or I felt it because he deserved it. So, whatever. We watch a lot of sports, so I got to make it interesting for me.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to do to make me happy?
Probably clean up the kitchen.
That's probably my favorite thing for you to do.
Yeah, when I'm in my little moods, I get in a cleaning spree.
He does.
So I think that's it. Just cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah, because you really enjoy that.
I do enjoy it.
It's like a turn on for her. She just be like, oh my God.
It is. I be like, oh, he gonna get something tonight.
Just because I done put the dishes up. That's crazy.
But he gets a cleaning for real. He'll put the dishes up. He'll clean the kitchen. Cleaning the kitchen is not Philip's thing.
No, like, I hate cleaning the kitchen.
Philip is one of those people who don't even understand that when you clean the kitchen, you don't just wash the dishes or put the dishes in the dishwasher. You have to wipe the counter, wipe the stove, sweep the floor, make sure it's not just random stuff on the counter. Philip will just put the stuff in the dishwasher and say the kitchen is clean. So when he get to actually cleaning right, then he touch them bathrooms. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. My favorite thing to do to make you happy is really when I buy you something. I know you really like that. Mm-hmm. So I try and look for opportunities like, he been talking about this, or ooh, I know Philip will really like that. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes me happy, making you happy.
Yeah, because you're touching the love language.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, last question. And I don't know if you're going to be able to answer this, but what's your guilty pleasure? Do you have a guilty pleasure? Let me think.
I don't really think so.
I don't think you have a guilty pleasure either.
Guilty pleasure.
Okay, I'm going to tell y'all my guilty pleasure. Just because I really do know this.
Yeah, you go ahead and I'm a think.
And some people may consider this a guilty pleasure and some people may not. But I really like watching Keeping Up the Kardashians. And just kind of following them, period. I don't know why. I like it. I find them interesting. I be rooting for them most of the time. And I know as a black woman, don't, you know. But I like the Kardashians and I like to watch them. I like to watch their show. I like to follow them on Instagram. So that's definitely my guilty pleasure. And I don't really like reality TV. So that's probably the only reality show that I ever watch. Like, I don't like the Basketball Wives or whatever else they have out there. I don't ever watch those. But I will watch the Kardashians. So that's my guilty pleasure. You don't really have one.
I don't really have one, I don't think. I could probably make one up.
Yeah. I should have thought about your answers more when I was making these.
Yeah, I don't think I have one.
Yeah.
I eat some ice cream in the middle of the night. But
it will.
I don't have a guilty pleasure.
Okay, well, we'll take that for that. So, I think that's all we have. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
I do want to wrap up. It's important. Don't lose yourself. Or if you do, rediscover. Like, it's okay to prioritize yourself, to take some time aside for yourself, to kind of shake things up in your family. That's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you didn't stop and subscribe earlier when I told you to, do it now. Leave us a comment. Let us know how you guys are feeling, what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, tell a friend about Black Love for Life.
Yeah. As always, yeah, we appreciate you guys. See you next week.
All right, gang.
Yay.